Welcome to the show. Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and we are live from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, we have a really special guest, King Solomon himself, the son of the great legend Solomon Burke.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
Absolutely.
your name can't be King. You couldn't have been born with that name. So what's your real name?
My brother got that name. I got a brother named Prince Solomon Burke.
Do you really?
Yes, and I got a brother named King Haile Selassie Burke.
Wow.
He's the baby boy.
Uh-huh.
And me, I'm just Gemini. I was born on the day the rocket Gemini blasted off.
Uh-huh. Wow. Very
So,
good.
But,
So you're a son of a legend. Tell
Yes,
us
sir.
about your dad.
well, my father, Solomon Burke, one of the original Motown Philly guys. Solomon Burke, great singer from the late 50s all the way through 2010. Released about maybe 80 to 90 albums.
Wow.
Let's see, he's a big old fella. He's about maybe 350, 400 and some pounds.
Wow.
Dad had 21 children, 21 of us.
21.
4 wives. Was it 4 wives? What do you say? Papa was a Rolling Stone. And one of the greatest entertainers I ever known as far as soul music, because he was a king of soul. They crowned him king of soul in Chicago. So Dad was something really special, and we truly miss him. We miss his music. We miss him. And the people, Europe and America and everywhere, truly miss him. So we're trying to bring back the sound and the legacy and keep it going. And we're starting something here called the Sons of Legends. And I have about 3 cats with me, and we're bringing more in. We got Joe Tex. We have Johnny Taylor's son. We have Jackie Wilson's son, Bobby. You guys probably heard Bobby Wilson. He's here a lot. He does a lot of shows here.
Yeah.
Jackie Wilson's son.
Uh-huh.
So we have him coming, and we're working with trying to get Otis Redding the third to work with us, and we're really going to push this thing nationwide, worldwide, whatever we can do to let people know that the true sons of these legends still live, and we're keeping that music going as long as we can.
Well, that's fabulous. Well, I know we have a show coming up, right?
Yes.
And so tell us about this.
Well, here in Vegas for the first time, this is actually the first time we're going to get together as the Sons of Legends, and there's 3 of us this time. Bobby's in Utah right now doing Solid Gold Oldies in Utah. So we have Johnny Taylor. His son is going to be T.J. Hooker Taylor. And then we're going to have Joe Tex the second, and myself, Solomon Burke's son, Gemini. We're going to be over here at the Elks Club. That seats about 300-something folk. And we're going to be here for the first time presenting everybody the Sons of Legends. We are the true sons of these gentlemen. And we're going to sing their songs as good as they do. I don't want to say better, because Lord knows I don't need nobody hunting me, but definitely we're really excited about it, because it's the first time, and you're actually on board on something very spectacular, because this is the first time this is happening. And we're going to stay with you and let you know every time we got something great going on, because we're going from here to Europe. Then we're going to do some things on some cruise ships. We're really moving this thing. This is the first time it's happening here in Vegas.
That's amazing. So what's it like to have a dad that everybody knew him all around the country.
Yes.
He travels, and what's that like?
Well, my father had so many of us, and you had to get your time.
Yeah.
You had to get your time. And whenever I got my time, it was educational time. Son, this is what I need you to do, and this is what we're going to learn about the Lord today. This is what I want you to learn. And we had a group when we were young. We were called the Sons and Daughters of Solomon Burke. And there was 7 of us. And we were, same time the Osmonds were going, the same time the Jacksons were going, we were going. And we were at MGM at that time. We were at MGM. And my father had just did the Cool Breeze soundtrack for a movie with MGM. And it's a wonderful thing to be a part of that type of legacy. But it's also tough when you have so many of you.
Yeah. Well, and your father was traveling all the time.
All the time.
So
all the time.
You sort of grew up without a father in a way.
If you think about it that way, yeah. But you always had the music.
Uh-huh.
And like now that he has passed, whenever I think of my father, I put on a song. I put on a song. And it's the thing about being one of his children and knowing that we could watch the video, we could listen to him, we could talk to each other, we could just get the real dad. Get the real dad by just talking to each other and listening. And if you watch some of his old videos when he was in Europe and he was singing and he was walking then, he's walking, you can see him kind of walking and doing his thing. That's the dad I remember, the guy on his feet and moving around and get over here and get this done. I want this done right. I want you guys to sing it and let's get it done. And I was like, hey, Dad tell you to do something, we gotta get it done. And we always met around the table.
Yeah.
My father was a big man. We always met around the table. Meet around the table, with some nice good ribs and steak and chicken and green beans. That's how you get everything done. If you can meet around the table, you can get everything done in that type of
That's
situation.
right. Especially when a guy's 400 pounds, you
Yeah.
got to sort of do what he says, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do what Dad said. You're gonna do what Dad said. He had two of my hands.
Yeah.
He had two of my hands. So when Dad spoke, everybody listened. Sounded like lightning and thunder at the same time. He'd call your name, he'd clap his hand, he'd say, "Hey, get over here now, move it. We're gonna get this done. I want you to take this outside and get it." You were moving. You didn't play around. That was the thing about the entertainers back then with their children. They had a way to speak to them that made sure that they didn't have to worry about their children when they came home, because the kids know when they came home, hey, Dad's home, get out of the way, but see him when he calls your name.
Oh.
That's how it was. He'd pull in that gate, we'd be looking at the TV, said, "Dad's home," coming in the limo, see the gate open up, everybody said, "Oh, Dad's home." Then it's like, okay, who's going to talk to Dad first? Because, Dad just got off the road. So it was a great thing to just see him come home and jump in the pool with him and have him just look at us, and kind of miss those times.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet. So your dad was a blues singer.
Soul and blues, original soul singer, yes.
So soul and blues. What's
Yes,
the
sir.
difference? Is there a difference?
There is. Soul is like gospel. Soul is like gospel. All of it comes, blues and soul, all that comes from, you remember Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
What he said, he sat down there with the colored people back in the time and listened to him, because it came from the heart, it came from the soul. And it's like soul food. So, it's a, blues and soul kind of like the same thing. There's nothing like pop. Nothing like pop and all that rap stuff. It's deep music from the heart.
Yeah.
And everyone can feel it. When you're singing soul right, you're singing blues right, B.B. King will tell you. When you're singing blues right, everybody can feel it.
Yeah.
Soul and blues is so special.
B.B. King was awesome, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Amazing.
Rita King is in town. His daughter lives here in town.
Oh, really?
Rita King.
Is
Yes,
that
she
right?
does. Yes,
Well,
she
we'll have
does.
to get her over.
You let me know and I'll tell her.
All right.
I'll tell her. Matter of fact, you let me know any of these great legendary singers' children that are here in town. There's also, you guys missed it, but Sam Cooke's daughter was in town.
Wow.
Carla Cook. Let me know. I'm sure that they would love to come here and just talk to you about their fathers and their legacies.
Absolutely.
It'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
So what's your dad's favorite? What's your favorite song that your dad did?
I like his definition of soul album. The definition of soul album. What is that? You like potatoes, I like rice. You like wine warm, well, I like mine on ice. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful song, but it's soul and blues. You like potatoes, I like rice. You like wine warm, well, I like mine on ice. It was a beautiful song. It's something that a lot of people don't know. And also the Cool Breeze album, We're Almost Home. It makes you feel like you're going back home.
Wow.
We're almost home. Yeah, baby. We're almost home. It's a beautiful song from the soundtrack Cool Breeze, 1972. Beautiful, beautiful soundtrack.
So how'd your dad get into music? Where did he grow up at?
Well, Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Philadelphia. This is a long story, but Dad will tell you that he was preaching when he was about 7 or 8.
Really?
7 or 8, preaching was about 7 or 8, and started singing in the church about 11 or 12. And then he had his first record, I believe, in 1954.
Wow.
Meet Me in the Church. Meet Me in the Church was a gospel record, a beautiful record.
What was that during the 45 when they had 45s?
That's the 45s, and that's when he told me, he said we were getting a half penny.
Really?
A half penny. Can you imagine a half penny?
No.
They sell like 1 million. I bet you. They were selling millions of records, but these cats were getting a half penny per record.
My goodness.
Can you imagine that?
No, that's
Somebody was getting like 25 cents, and they were
I'm
getting
sure.
a half penny. It's amazing. It's amazing. So Philadelphia. He's original soul singer. Philadelphia. What do they call that? The original. Was the Boys and Men came out? They said Motown Philly. My father and them were the original Motown Philly.
wow.
So it's a special time, and I'm just so glad to be a part of what we're doing now with bringing the Sons of Legends together. And if you had anything, or if you got the chance, if you're out there and you want to hear what I mean about legends coming together, my father had a record he put together with a bunch of other soul legends, and it was called the Soul Clan. The Soul Clan, and they had Soul Clan. They had like 2 or 3 hits on that album. It was something that now the people are doing. They're coming together. All these singers and stuff. They come together and they build things and they make parks and they do all that. That's what they were trying to do in the 50s and 60s. But
My
they
goodness.
wouldn't let them do it back then because back then it's like, hey, we can't give all these guys millions of dollars just to help their communities.
Right, right.
So they didn't get that money then. But now you see it, and it's something that you say, well, my father and them were trying to do those things years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did you grow up in Philadelphia as well?
I was born in Philly.
Yeah.
I was born in Philly, and my mother was a country girl. She's was at North Carolina.
Oh,
So
wow.
we from Philly to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Los Angeles, back from Los Angeles to North Carolina. The kids back then called us poor little rich kids, because when we was with our father, we was doing pretty good in L.A.
Yeah.
But when we got back with mom, you had to eat that chicken and sit there right there in the country on that porch with the tin roof.
Yeah.
So
Different life.
It was a different life. It was. I'll never forget that they used to call us the poor little rich kids because they knew who our father was.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Amazing.
That is amazing. So, now your father had 4 wives,
Yeah.
and your mother, where did she fit? At what number?
My mother was, let's see, Dolores Clark. Dolores Clark. My mother was Irish Indian.
Uh-huh.
She was Irish Indian. Beautiful. Mulatto. They used to call her mulatto. And there's some stories I could tell you. My dad used to tell me. He said, you know how many times I got arrested just hanging out with your mother down there? I said, Dad, please. He said, I almost got hung a couple of times hanging out with your mother back there in the 50s. I said, give me a break. He said, yeah, North Carolina was tough.
I'll
The
bet,
Carolinas
yeah.
was tough back then. So yeah, mom was special. She was beautiful. I'll never forget how beautiful her long black hair. My mother had beautiful long black hair, and she was Caucasian. I mean, if you really think about it, she was Caucasian. And the kids used to tell me, your mom's out there, the white lady's out there. I said, what? Don't be talking about my mother. Leave my mama alone now. Don't talk about my mama. And she used to say, son, don't worry about that. I am white. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it. You got white in you. And I checked that ancestry out about 2-3 months ago. 28% Great Britain.
Really?
I'm 28% Great Britain.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Amazing. You got to do that. You're going to do the ancestry thing? You didn't
Yeah,
try.
I should probably try that, huh?
Yeah, you'd probably be like something like Wales or something like that. You're one of them Scottish guys.
You're absolutely right.
See? See?
My mother's last name was Wallace, and they're from Scotland. You're
Amazing.
exactly right.
See? I got you, didn't I? Let me
Yes,
tell
you did. Well, very good. So you were born in Philly.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go to school?
Well, from Philly, we moved, like I said, down to North Carolina and back and forth between my mother and father from L.A. to North Carolina. And when my mother passed when I was 14,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I was 14 years old when my mother passed. We moved my baby sister and I. You met my baby sister
Yes,
today.
uh-huh.
We moved us to Kansas City with my older siblings, and I stayed there for a while. And I started to play football, and got wonderful scholarship offers: Missouri, Oklahoma, Nebraska. I had Osborne from Nebraska coming to my math class, and he was like, "We love you. We're watching you. I want you to come up here to Nebraska." Then we had the other guy, Switzer, come from Oklahoma about 3 days later. He says, you look good out there. And I was like, I don't even know these guys, but they're pretty big time.
Yeah.
So went to Kansas for a while, and after Kansas, we got back together with the rest of the family in LA, and we were getting ready to do some things, and then I decided to join the Marine Corps. Dad was doing his thing, traveling the world, so I decided to join the Marine Corps, and he used to get me in trouble. My dad would get me in trouble. He'd call the Marine Corps base, and he would say, let me speak to my son, the captain. I'd be like, Dad, come on now, don't get me in trouble. I'm not a captain. I'm a corporal. You can nothing do me. Son, you're always going to be a captain to me. That was beautiful. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah.
But to my captain, it wasn't the prettiest thing. But yeah, that's kind of like from Philly to the Carolinas to Kansas City, back and forth from LA. And then once I joined the Marine Corps, I was shipped off to Honolulu, where I lived for 20 years, and that's where I met Jackie Wilson's son, Bobby Brooks Wilson. It's amazing.
Wow.
We met on the karaoke scene, the circuit, what we called it back then. Just out there singing and get a little change in your pocket.
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about whose fathers were what, because we didn't really discuss that. We was just out there having fun on the karaoke circuit. And Jackie Wilson was as you know, one of the great legendary soul singers as well. Is getting was a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame now.
Yeah.
And his son's going to be there. It's going to be a great thing. I'm trying to see if I can get there with him. It's a great thing to get your star on the
Yes,
Walk
it
of Fame.
is. Yes, absolutely.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So that's Honolulu. You're going to get me started. I'm going to keep going about the wonderful things of Honolulu and the people I met. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask some
It
more
is a
questions.
wonderful place. I got married
Yes, it is.
there. It's been to Hawaii.
You got married in Honolulu?
Yes.
When did you get married in Honolulu?
Oh man, I didn't want to tell you dates, but
What about
it is right on the beach.
which
You
one?
know,
Which one? Waikiki or
Yeah, you're very close to there. Yeah.
you was in Waikiki?
Yeah.
Okay, Waikiki's beautiful. You got married
It's
on the
just
beach.
beautiful. Yeah.
You know, she must be beautiful if you're married on the beach. You know, that's like a queen.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Well,
but we always like to go to Maui now. Maui. Lahaina.
Lahaina side.
Lahaina is our favorite place.
Lahaina side, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I know Kie and all them over there. I know Grand Wale over there, Kie.
Well, you know it well.
I
That's
know it
right.
well, brother. See, I started getting my accent. You know, the brother,
Yeah, be
the
doing
pigeon.
this here
Hang
pretty
loose,
soon.
brother. Hang loose. Yeah, I miss the islands. I was there for 20 years.
So you sang over there?
Yes, sir.
You
We
were
were part
in
of a-
nightclubs.
Well, actually, it was more so musicals. I did a lot of musicals. I did a couple of CDs with a few Hawaiian friends of mine. Fiji, great singer over there in Honolulu. Buddy of mine, we met each other in the nightclub, and he turned out to be one of the greatest singers ever on the island. He's a good friend of mine. And then I had a couple of buddies. We got together and did a compilation album. And the album's called Chillaxin'. So if anybody wants to kind of see what I'm talking about, look up the album Chillaxin', and I have a couple of songs on there from Honolulu.
Chillaxin'.
Chillaxin'. It's kind of like
Okay.
chill
Uh-huh.
and relax.
Okay.
But you put them together, and you're chillaxing.
Oh, that's very clever. Chillaxin'. Now, can you get that on Amazon? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it. You can get it Amazon. Google it. You could Facebook me. You Amazon. Amazon has a bunch of them. So go to Amazon directly and look up Chillaxin'. They got
Let's do a little commercial for you now. If somebody
Okay.
wants to pick up your music, do you have a website?
Well, right now, what we're working on is the Sons of Legends website. So
Okay.
that's going to be where you could pick up everybody's, CDs, music, kind of get the history of them, the history of their fathers and them. So you get an opportunity to have them Google up Sons of Legends,
Okay.
or just Google up Joe Tex, joetex.com, tjhookertaylor.com. BobbyBrooksWilson.com, and we're like I said, we're working on Otis. So if Otis, you're listening, I'm putting your name out there. And Otis Redding, very good friend of mine, very sweet, very kind man. His father and my father were close. So definitely have him, and me, look me up. Facebook me. I love friends. They can Facebook me. Facebook me. I'll give you all
Now,
that.
what's your Facebook name?
It's Gemini. You gotta
Just
keep it-
Gemini?
Gemini Burke.
Oh,
Gemini
Gemini
Burke.
Burke,
Facebook
okay.
me. And I'll give you any information you need. You get to know a little bit about my family. I get to know a little history about me and music. And I'd love to put music on my Facebook so they can see what kind of music I love.
Absolutely.
Old school, man. Old school.
So now, the blues was unbelievably big at
Yes.
your Father's Day, right?
Yes,
I mean, that
yes.
was just incredible.
Blues and soul, absolutely.
Now we've got a lot of other forms of music that have sort of sprung out of that, I guess,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Rap and some of those
Yes.
things, and hip hop and all those things kind of came from that.
Yes.
What's your favorite genre?
Yeah, I like a little jazz.
Yeah,
I like a little jazz. Little jazz, and I have to say soul because that's where we come from.
sure.
Gospel. You got to get that gospel. Love gospel.
Yeah.
And blues. So right there, jazz, blues, gospel, and soul. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, when the great guys were around, so glad, glad that they were there. The Temptations, the Michael Jacksons, the Jackson 5, the Prince. When those guys were around, their music was real. Some of the music coming out now, it's all about just make the money. It's not about really touching the people's heart and soul with the music that you're doing. That's why soul is different than anything else.
Very interesting. So let's talk about you personally now.
Okay.
So you're living in Las Vegas.
Yes, I've been here in Las Vegas now for about 6 years.
Wow. And you have children?
I have one daughter.
Uh-huh.
She just made me a grandpa. Shh,
Wow.
don't tell nobody. I'm still looking like I'm in my 40s. So, just keep that on low. But I have one daughter. She just gave me a little baby grandpa. I'm grandpa now. So,
Congratulations.
and she is an officer in the Naval Academy. She went to the Naval
wow.
Academy. She graduated from high school in Del Mar, California.
Yeah.
And then she joined the Naval Academy. She graduated about a couple of years ago. She is now a lieutenant in the United States Navy.
Wow. Wonderful.
Yeah, intelligence. She's in intelligence, but she says she can't tell me what she does because she would have to.
It'll kill you.
Yeah, she
Right,
have to.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You know how that.
Yeah, I got it.
And if your daughter has to do you in, that's not
right.
good. That's not good.
So these 21 kids, you have
Yes.
21 siblings. Are
Yes.
they around here?
You know what? We have some in Philly, Tennessee, Atlanta, Florida, California, Colorado. I would say we cover pretty much the whole states. Because as I'm in Vegas, like you just met my little sister, she came from L.A. She's here from L.A. And we have 4 or 5 of them in L.A. now. My brother Solomon Burke Jr., you can always look up his music. And he's, oh my goodness, as far as rock, my brother sings rock. He's a rock and soul singer. And man, he's fantastic. Solomon Burke Jr., if you're interested in his music.
So now he's your younger brother.
No, Solomon Burke Jr. is I'm the baby brother.
Oh, you're
trying
the
to
baby.
I'm
Okay.
the baby brother.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to take away my. Let me be the baby. I'm the biggest, but I'm still the baby brother. I'm still the baby brother. But my brothers are, especially Solomon Burke Jr. and King Haile Selassie. And if I don't mention my brother Prince Solomon Burke, he would probably jump me when I get back to the house.
Probably,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I say something about that. So
now, how many are singers out of the 21?
if you ask my family, everybody's a singer.
Yeah.
Everybody can sing. But sometimes how you have a group. You ever seen Barney Fife?
Uh-huh.
You ever seen the Andy Griffith Show?
Yes.
And they always had Barney singing, but if they couldn't sing too good, you put them in the back.
Right.
So we only have about 4 of those out of 21. But when you got the choir, you say, you guys sound good. So y'all go back there wherever you can do a solo. Want to do a nice solo in the back.
That's right.
But that's about 4 of them out of 21, so that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, everyone's pretty much a singer at heart. A singer at heart, yes.
Do you think singing is in the genes? Is it something that's learned, or
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I would say for us, it was inbred.
Yeah.
When we grew up, my father wanted us singing, so we were singing. My mother had us competing against each other, sing this, and as we grew, we did that with our own kids. You sing, and I have a nephew now. His father is Mickey Stevenson. Mickey Stevenson used to be with Motown. He's a writer in Motown, and my nephew, his name is Novel, and now he's a writer, and he's in L.A. and he's doing a great job. He's fantastic. He's my sister's first son. My sister Melanie Burke, she sings. She's a singer. She's a big time singer. She's done a lot of things with Shaka Khan. So yeah, the family does a lot of music, but what I'm trying to do now is to continue the legacy.
Yeah.
By keep singing my father's music. To me, it's important that they understand that music, because we can't let that music die.
Right.
Because that music is what brought us all together. If you remember the Temptations, where they used to have that line where the colored folk were on this side and the Caucasians were on this side, and they wouldn't let you come together. But after a while, they found that the music brought people together.
Uh-huh.
Music brought them together, because everybody just wanted to dance and sing and just, and that's what that music is all about. Soul. The music they're doing now is sometimes it's kind of separates people, and I'm not into that. I'm not into that. Let's bring everybody together.
Exactly. Very interesting. So, so we have the concert coming up.
Yes, on the 7th,
And then
July
we'll
7th.
start taking that all over the country.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think after we do it here, we're going to do a soul cruise. We're going to be on a soul cruise. We're going to do that, and then hopefully we're working on bringing it to the House of Blues. So if the House of Blues is listening, you're paying attention. Sons of Legends are in town July 7th here in Las Vegas. Get a hold of my man Murphy Palmer, and have Murphy work with you so we can get this thing set up at the House of Blues.
So obviously your dad was very important in your life.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you think because he was gone so much that maybe he was more important in that way, or if he had been with you every day, it would have been the same, do you think?
My father was, he was kind of tough on the boys. I'm sorry girls, because I know y'all going to say something. But he was tough on the boys.
Yeah.
Even when we were around him, he was, he didn't give us anything. You understand? You had to earn it with my dad, especially the boys.
Well, it was that generation too.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember one time I said, Dad, I need to get about $50 to Salsa. He said, we got a lawnmower out there, son. Dad, I know you got $50. He says, no, you need to learn to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good for him.
with my brothers, I believe my sisters, they call Dad up and give him that little daddy, 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 and Dad, you know how it is. You got a daughter? Do you have a daughter?
No.
See, you got a son, so you're gonna be tough.
That's right.
Yeah, it'd be tough. Be tough. It's a tough world out there. So yeah, being with Dad was a great time, and when we all got our individual time with him, it was special, and it was also kind of strange and tough sometimes because we had to take we all took pictures with our father, and I think a lot of people don't understand that when you have a famous father or something like that, you don't really want to take pictures, but everyone else is taking pictures, and you're like, it's my dad, but now that he's gone, those pictures are more important than anything.
Yeah. You wish you had more, probably.
Exactly. You hit it right on the nose. Exactly.
So, in your heart of hearts, what does your dad really mean to you?
King Solomon Burke. I thank him for bringing me to this world. I thank him for the love and kindness and support and the things that he taught us as men, young men. And as far as what he means to me, he means the world. Because without him, I wouldn't truly exist. And I wouldn't know how to sing. I wouldn't know how to be. My father loved everybody. So he taught love. He taught love. And that's how we are. We love everyone. Doesn't matter the color. The color, that we don't do nothing. There was a song that my dad did, and it was all about Martin Luther King. And the song was called I Have a Dream. And you can look that up, Solomon Burke, I Have a Dream. And those are the things that he truly taught us in life. Love thy neighbor. Follow the golden rule. Love thy neighbor. Follow the golden rule. Love thy neighbor. You'll find that is really cool. He used to tell us that. Just love your neighbor. You're going to find out it's not too bad. Just loving somebody you don't know.
How do you think your father's influence on you, did that help you be a better father yourself?
It's tough. Because I just had a girl, so he was tough on me, so I was kind of tough on her, and and she thanks me to this day. She says, yes, Dad, you were tough on me. Wherever I was, you were. When she was in high school, she couldn't do like the other girls, have little boyfriends and stuff, because I'd got a part-time job as a coach at the school. So, I said, yeah, I'll do some football coaching. And she'd look around, she said, my father's at the school.
She couldn't get away.
She couldn't get away. And the boys would be like, I'm not messing with her, man. Her dad's the coach.
Yeah.
So, it made me a better father. It's like we were saying earlier, my father wasn't around much because he was working. He was out doing what he had to do to make a living, to bring the bread home.
Right.
Bring the bacon. So me, I joining the Marine Corps and being able to retire early from that allowed me to spend more time with my child. And a lot of my friends that know me, they know the connection I have with my daughter is the greatest connection in the world to have with your children. It's something special. And my daughter and I are very close. Her name is Gianna. Gianna, right now she's married. She got married. My poor baby. She got married.
I don't know how fathers do it. I don't know. They have a daughter. I don't know how that happens.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because you're literally giving up your baby to another man and saying it's your turn. But I whispered, don't tell nobody. But I whispered in her ear. I said, look, if you ever need daddy, you call me. You understand? You call me. I don't want to say it out loud because I want to help. Oh my Lord, if he's listening, he's gonna know that I told him.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's something special.
So your dad obviously was a big part of your life.
Yes.
But other than your dad, who did you look to? Who mentored you?
Mother Ruth, my grandmother.
Mother Ruth.
I just talking about her is kind of touching. We called her Mama Ruth, my mother's mother. She was, how they do those movies you see where that one person brings everybody together, the family together.
Right.
That was my grandmother. And we all, Thanksgiving, we was at Grandma's house. She'd bake cakes for 2-3 days. Be like 15 cakes sitting around, coconut, chocolate. Peach pies, banana cream pie. Pies all over the place.
Wow.
and she would be up 24, 48 hours just baking. Grandma, Mama Ruth, we called her Mama Ruth. She was the greatest inspiration, the greatest. She was very important to me because she loved me. She just loved me. Period.
Yeah.
Grandmothers are very important.
Now she lived in North Carolina.
She was in North Carolina. Mama Ruth was in North Carolina. Mama Ruth. She
What
was
was North Carolina? What was that like? Because you're part of a biracial
yes.
family, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
Did you feel that in North Carolina?
You know, the biracial family thing kept going from one generation to the next. Because my daughter's mother is Caucasian,
Yeah.
and some of my family members, we got the Dominican Republic, we got Spanish, we got Latino, we got Caucasian. I mean, if you see my siblings, my nieces and nephews, you go, oh my gosh, you guys are mixed with everything. So that's why we're not caught up in the race problem thing.
Yeah.
You know, because when we were in the South, you know, it is what it is. You were whatever they said you were, and you just had to keep stay where you needed to stay. Don't. I don't know. I mean, people might take this wrong, but you stayed in your spot. I mean, don't if you're listening, and you don't take it wrong, but you didn't venture out and cause problems. You made peace with anyone that came to you by just showing love. Just showing love. We didn't go and cause problems. And back in that day, a police officer and a fireman was, oh my God, they shook your hand. It was like a star.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, in the South, because they were people that you always knew that were there for you. You know, that's why I joined the military, because I just love my country. You understand? You know, I just,
Yes, of course.
you know, we live in a great country here.
Yes, we do.
We live in a great country. You can do anything, you can be anything if you believe it.
That's right.
If you believe it, you can do it. I had someone tell me one time, if you believe it, you can achieve it. You just got to believe it.
You gotta believe it. Absolutely. But now you lived in the North as well, so a big difference, right?
North and South Carolina?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I went to school
No, and you were up in the North in
Philly.
Philly.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
There's a big difference from
It's a
North Carolina.
huge difference.
Yeah.
It was a huge difference. I mean, in South Carolina, you got a little space, and you know, you knew where you knew where you had to stay and keep the peace. You go up to Philly, you can go anywhere you want, but you still had to just be careful. But you had to watch out for your young folk too. You know, it's tough. We lived in some tough areas in Philly, and I still have family in Philly. In case they're listening, still have family in Philly. The Burke clan in Philly. I love you. I love you. You know, just make sure, just in case they're hearing us, because I want to know that we have a lot of family in Philly still. We still have a lot of family in Philly, and I love my family tremendously. All the grandchildren, the children of my father, Solomon Burke. If you guys out there listening, just know that we're going to keep Dad's legacy going together as a family. So let's just keep praying, and let's work hard and get that done together.
Now, do you ever have a big family reunion where you try to get everybody?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Did y'all hear that? Did you guys hear that? My buddy here said we need to have a family reunion.
That's right. We need to.
So we need to get that done. That would be
You're gonna
wonderful.
fill up Disneyland by yourself.
Oh, come on now. That's true. That's true. I mean, really, I'll have to show you a picture one day. You'll be like, that's a lot of folk. Yeah, I believe there was a time that they asked my father how many children and grandchildren and so on. He said at that time, I think it was about 2007 when he said that. 2007, 2006. They asked, how many children you got? 21 children, 89 grandchildren, and 40-something great-grandchildren, and 17 something. And I was like, he's right. He's got that many. But that was back then. That's 2007, 2006. Now, you got to think about the ones that, you know, now that he's passed, now it's huge.
Now, he couldn't have known everybody's name.
Dad? Oh, he knew everybody's name.
All those great-grandchildren?
He knew all of his children's name.
Yeah.
He knew all of his children's name. And then he got to the point where he started knowing all the grandchildren. Now, I'm with you. If he started knowing the great-grand after that, he was a genius. Well, he was a genius anyway. But
too many, yeah.
Yeah, that's way too many. But Dad knew everybody's name. He called us. My sister told me before he passed away, he was praying and he was calling all of his children's names. He was on the plane. They said he was praying and just praying for his children.
Wow.
And we never knew that was the last time that we would hear about our father on the plane to Amsterdam. And as soon as the plane stopped and they were putting him in his chair to take him off, they said he got up out of the plane seat, and before he could sit down in the wheelchair, he was gone.
My goodness.
And he was going to a show. He was 70 years old. He was going to go do a show in Amsterdam. And that's where I'm trying to get back to. I'm trying to make sure take that music back and give them the show that I know my father wanted them to have. That's the plan for the Sons of Legends. Keep giving everyone the shows that our fathers would like for them to have.
Yeah.
Because that music is everlasting. Soul, true soul, is everlasting.
Now, your father obviously was a very spiritual guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a bishop. In fact, he was ordained by, was that Pope John Paul?
Really?
I got a picture. I'll have to send it to you. Pope John Paul had him on his knees. He had his bishop stuff on and put the hands on him and blessed him a little bit. I was like, man, that's amazing. Pope John Paul put his, you in line, you in line. You know, you got to get in line and get that blessing.
Yes, you do.
You know, so that was beautiful. So just by Pope John Paul blessing him, and then my father touching and blessing me,
You felt it.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful thing.
So now, how about Gemini? You got a little preacher in you?
You know what? Boy, you're good. You must have been doing some research. You know, actually, before my father passed away, he had his own church. He had a church and everything. And I had just got back from Honolulu, and my father knew that I helped a lot of homeless. I worked with helping homeless people, and I've done a lot of goodwill things like that. And I used to preach when I was a kid at a church in North Carolina with Brother Charles Young and them used to get up there and sing and everything. So my father never forgot that. And before he passed away, he ordained me as a bishop. So I have my bishop license.
Wow.
So if you ever want to, no, you don't want to get married again. This is it.
I might do a reunion.
Yeah, if you do, you let me know. I'll come do it.
You can always sing, you know.
I could sing. Yeah. What are you talking about? I'm going to do all the bishop stuff. So yeah, for real. So I was ordained as a bishop in 2007, and I keep that on my wall. People walk in and say, "Oh my God, Bishop Gemini John Curtis Burton." Yeah, that's it. So they call me the little bishop. My father was the big bishop.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he can't get any bigger than that. He can't get any bigger than that.
So how about your grandfather on your dad's side? Did you get a chance to meet him?
Oh wow, no, because there's so much history. My father, before he passed away, he had just found out that he was adopted. So we never really knew who's who. Now his mother was his mother, but the father situation, my father really didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I never really got a chance to truly know my father's father. I knew my mother's mother, but I never really I knew my father's grandmother, Grandma Burke. Grandma Burke was tough, so I could see where my dad got all his, because Grandma didn't play. But I never really got to know my father's father. And also we all found out that it wasn't really his father,
Yeah.
you know, before he passed.
So what do you think about the situation going on now with politics and?
Oh gosh, we're gonna talk about. You know what? I always say, Johnny Carson said, if you're a comedian, stick with being a comedian. You know, don't
Be funny.
Be funny.
Yeah, that's right.
And me, I'm a singer.
Yeah.
I'm a stick with being a singer. You know, I'm a sing. You know, people say, well, why don't you jump? No, let politics be for the politics. You know, if they get there and that's where they're supposed to be, that's how they got there. When it affects anything else that I'm doing, I'll talk amongst you and other people, but I think a lot of times with what's going on in the world, like I said, love thy neighbor.
Yeah.
Follow the golden rule. And not only that, a lot of people don't understand we have rules, period, everywhere. Laws, rules, and we can't destroy those rules if we don't like them. I mean, I don't know. I really don't, between me and you, and you know, well, I guess there's other people watching too.
No, nobody's watching, just us.
Good.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. No, with politics, I have to stay out of that because I have my own feelings about that. And I don't think it's fair to put my feelings on someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
I think that it's best that I'll just keep singing, keep acting, and keep meeting great guys like yourself. Yeah, that's how you keep your relationships. Sometimes if if we go get a nice little soda or something and you want to ask me a personal question about it, yeah. But there are people out there in the radio land, and I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way because right now, everybody's a little sensitive. Things are a little sensitive and tight right now.
They sure are.
So
Very tight.
you gotta be careful what you're saying and how you're saying it right now at this time.
So what have you not done yet that you've always wanted to do?
I'm ready to take this whole Sons of Legends thing to the next level. I want to go everywhere that my father went and let them know that the legacy continues. Solomon Burke Music is still here. His children and children's children will continue that legacy until there is no more. And as you know, there's a lot of them. So the music will go on forever. As long as everyone
Can't
believes
stop
it.
it now, huh?
Ain't no stopping us now. There
Yeah,
you go. Ain't no
moving
stopping us now.
train.
That's it. That's the plan. So I really just want to continue the legacy of my father.
Now, did your father write his own music?
Oh, absolutely.
So he wrote all
Absolutely.
This
I would say 80% of my father's music was written by him.
Wow.
80%, truly. The last album he did, I think a bunch of guys got together and they did, some great guys, and they wrote all of the songs. And it was my dad's last CD that he did. And that was amazing because he usually doesn't sing everybody else's songs. And one of the greatest songs I ever heard him do was with Jerry Lee Lewis. Him and Jerry Lee Lewis. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
My father did a lot of great country songs. You remember Just Out of Reach of My Two Arms? Just Out of Reach of My Two Arms? He did that and made millions from it. And He'll Have to Go. You ever heard of He'll Have to Go?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
That was a hit for my father. Can you imagine that? That was a hit for my dad. Country music.
It's country, yeah.
I love
it's
country
a long ways
music.
from blues.
That's right.
Although there's some similarities, aren't there?
Well, yeah,
They
because
tell
they all got
stories.
they're telling a story.
Yeah.
Soul, blues, and country, they could come together as one
Yeah.
because they all got that story to tell. How Betsy just left me alone and left me with the sheeps and the cows and and took everything, but she left me with the house.
Yeah.
And I want to tell the story.
That's right.
That's how it is.
So now, have you done any writing?
Actually, you know what? I'm working on some writing things with my brother.
Yeah.
My brother Prince Solomon. He's one of the greatest writers that I've known that the people don't know. And this is with my whole family. My brothers and my sisters, they write, and it's like, wow, we got to get this out there. So now I'm working on an album that I'm going to be getting out, and I'm going to have my brother work with me. It kind of made me tell him. I wasn't going to tell him until the last minute, but now that we've done this, I'm going to have to tell him. So I'm going to have him work with me and have him do a lot of music arrangement and helping me write and finish some of the songs we're doing.
Now, your father was, that was a unique period in time in the history of the world, really.
Yes, 50s and 60s.
The
50s.
music was just something special, And, but what are the odds that somebody can get famous in music? It's tough, isn't it?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, back in the day, you could do doo-wop on the corner. Somebody heard you, you got an opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't care. You can't doo-wop on the corner now. You got to get on one of these
Against
TV
the law.
shows, and someone's got to say, yeah, we like you, and then they might just like you for the season,
Yeah.
and after the season, you're done. It's a one-hit wonder. They'll help you get one, and boom, you're out.
Right.
So I stay with the music that's tried and true. The music that my father does, and Jackie Wilson and Joe Tex and all these great legends, Johnny Taylor. This music has been tried and true. It's legendary. So there's no need to change nothing.
Yeah.
Just sing it. Bring it back. Bring it to the people's soul and to their heart, because that music doesn't change.
Well, we're about out of time. This hour's
Oh.
gone. This hour's gone so
Oh,
fast,
man.
and I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this. But let me ask you this.
Yes.
What has no one ever asked you that you, if you were me, that you would ask you?
What would I ask me? Wow, that's good. That's good. I like this guy. I would pretty much just ask me, what's next?
Okay.
What's next?
What's next?
And to me, I'm a moment-to-moment man. Meeting you was a blessing. You know how that just took place?
Yeah.
Those are things to me that I say, what's next? Because you don't know. But you got to be ready. You got to be ready at all times in a positive way. And show that, look, I got love for my brother. I got love for my sister. I got love for everyone. But give it back. What's that song by Teddy Pendergrass? Feels so good loving somebody, but it even feels better when they love you back.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling from you, and I appreciate that.
Well, great.
So what's next? Yeah, I ask myself, what's next? And I'll just say, whatever comes out, I'm preparing for it, and I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
My goodness. What a pleasure.
God bless you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
God bless you.
Hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week, same time, same station. Bye-bye, everybody.